Hey y'all, alright, we're going to take some time and we're going to talk about one of the biggest hurdles for newer writers, and that's on-the-nose dialogue. So for those of you who may not be familiar with the term or may have heard of it and don't know exactly what it means, on-the-nose dialogue is an expression that we use to indicate that a character's dialogue is obvious, where a character is saying exactly what they feel, what they think, what they want, and the result of on-the-nose dialogue is a character who feels flat, one-dimensional, and essentially fake. So over the course of the next few videos, we're going to be talking a little bit about it, being able to figure out how to identify it, how to fix it, and maybe some possible ways in which you can use it to your benefit. All right, so stay tuned and we'll get to work. All right, the first step for fixing on-the-nose dialogue is to be able to identify why is it even a problem to begin with. When we talk to each other, we typically don't say exactly what we want, feel, or think. Sometimes the problem is deeper and we don't even know what we want or think. So to have a character who expresses himself 100% of the time is unrealistic and, from a dramatic standpoint, boring. When it comes to performance, the emotion and intention is almost always better conveyed when it comes through physical choices rather than dialogue. What a person does says a lot more about them than just what they say. Now, we as humans, when it comes to stakes, and story is all about stakes, we tend to guard what we say more when there's more to risk. The bigger the risk, the more we tend to guard what we think or feel. So when we get into these dramatic situations that we're portraying in film and television, probably want to pare down on what the character is choosing to reveal, because that's what we as humans do. All right, the next step for fixing on-the-nose dialogue is being able to identify it. As you're going to write your script or going into rewrites, you want to make sure that you're on the lookout for lines that convey exactly what the characters are thinking, feeling, or wanting. Another way that on-the-nose dialogue is used is when the writer's trying to force in exposition about the characters or provide some kind of background information that should be obvious to the other characters in that world. So be on the lookout for that. So here are some examples of things that might be considered on-the-nose dialogue. You treat me bad in public. We're brothers. That's why we look alike. Look at those clouds. It's about to rain. I was never loved as a child. That's why I'm so messed up. That was really scary. So you can see how those things are very on the nose. They're very obvious. So be on the lookout for those type of things as you're going through your script, and find ways to convey that information either through physical action or somehow in an organic way. All right, now that we understand what on-the-nose dialogue is and can identify it, now we got to fix it. So as we said before, physical action is a great way for them to manifest what they're thinking or feeling, so try and find ways to do that. But every now and then you might need to use words. So the opposite of on-the-nose dialogue is subtext. Subtext is a method by which you have characters saying one thing, but underneath that, they're really meaning something else. This mental stretching enables the audience to become active participants in the scene. They're trying to figure out, they're trying to problem solve, and it becomes a little bit more natural for how people speak. So we got to make sure that everything that the characters say is rooted in their natural world. We talk about using the context of the environment to help inform what that conversation looks like or feels like. So in general, we need to have the characters talk about anything but the real issue, and then let that conversation be a metaphor for what the actual issue really is. All right, y'all. As I teased in the very first installment of this video series, there may be a way in which you can actually use on-the-nose dialogue to your benefit. One of those ways was a suggestion made by a longtime screenwriting instructor, Michael Haig, and he says that it is helpful sometimes if you're struggling to figure out what it is your character actually wants, what they really think and what they really mean, is to go ahead and write it on the nose on the page. Once you get it down, it's a lot easier once you've figured out what exactly they're trying to say, and if you're comfortable with that direction, then to go back and add the subtext in your rewrites. But in those first early drafts, when you know they're not going to be seen anyway, and you know you're going to change things, go ahead and be a little on the nose there to get something down on the page, and then you can massage it into shape a little bit better. See if that one works for you.